camera together. I think we're all set. Let's go. Peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and blessings. Y'all come on in, come on in. Come on in, come on in. Let's get started with tonight's session for the fruit and salad challenge. So come on in, come on in. We'll get going in just a moment. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the ebook that came with the challenge right here. That way we can go through everything, break it down, and just continue to get an understanding of what we can do to correct these blood pressure issues that we're dealing with. So come on in, come on in. As we get started, just make sure you guys can hear and see me clearly. So if you can hear me, see me, just put a 1 inside of the chat. That way I can know that we're all good to go. And again, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. That way you can get notifications whenever I go live with the different challenges and just talking about everything related to blood pressure. So I appreciate you all for tuning in. And we're gonna go ahead and get started with this challenge. That way, that way we can just continue to move forward. So yesterday we was live and we kicked off the fruit and salad introduction, basically breaking down the ins and outs of the challenge, helping you understand what it was all about, what to expect to get from the challenge, and how to actively participate. So we went through the ins and outs of that yesterday. Those of you that signed up for the challenge, you were able to get your fruit and salad ebook along with all the other tools that came with the challenge. That way you could be successful through the next 7 days of applying these different tactics and strategies. Now, tonight, this is the educational part of the challenge. This is the understanding what's taking place within ourselves as we're making these dietary adjustments when it comes down to our blood pressure. Tonight, we're going to be talking about the different minerals that play a part in regulating our blood pressure and how the tactics and strategies that we're applying are going to benefit us as we continue to get a better understanding and work our way off of the pharmaceutical medication. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pull up the Fruit and Salad Challenge ebook. Those of you, again, if you signed up for the challenge, you have this, this item already. And if you have a second device like a computer or a tablet, you can just simply pull it up and you could go along with it. If not, you can just sit back and take some notes as I go through this whole process. So the ebook looks like this. Here we go. I don't know if it's clear enough, but it's a 7-day fruit and salad challenge ebook. It looks just like this. And I'm going to go through this first couple pages. Actually, I'm going to skip the first couple pages because we talked about this yesterday. But I'm going to go. I'm going to skip over all the way to the mineral aspect, where we can understand the different minerals related to blood pressure. So we're going to break this section down. The part that we're skipping over was basically talking about the tactics and strategies that we're applying. Right now, we're going to go into understanding the minerals. Now, when it comes down to blood pressure, there's many different nutrients that plays a role in helping you regulate the blood pressure. Specifically, the main ones are potassium, magnesium, calcium, sodium, and zinc. Those are the top 5. Now, you also have other vitamins that play a part in this, such as vitamin D, vitamin C, other antioxidants. All these things play a role when it comes down to regulating your blood pressure. So we're going to dive into the processes by which they work, understand the different foods we can consume in order to get these nutrients, and start working towards getting a better understanding of what's triggering our blood pressure problems. Now, one of the main things I like to mention as well as we go through these different challenges and tactics and strategies is that when it comes down to blood pressure is bigger than just your nutrition. It's a lot bigger than that, but this is a great place to start. Your blood pressure issues could be related to your nutrition, your stress levels, your sleeping habits, your lack of sunlight, your lack of movement. It can be a number of things, but the best way to get to the root cause of these blood pressure problems is by understanding what you're doing and how it's contributing to the issues that you're experiencing. So this 7-day fruit and salad challenge is going to put you in the ballpark of making the nutritional changes by incorporating the foods that are high in the specific minerals that we're going to break down. That way you can increase your nutritional storages and give your body what it needs to help regulate this blood pressure that you're dealing with. So we're going to start by talking about a few of the different minerals that are involved in this process. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop them low inside of the chat. That way I can answer them as we move along. And again, make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel. That way, whenever I'm going live, you guys can get the updates and the notifications moving forward. So The first mineral that we're going to be talking about is going to be potassium. And I'm reading right out of this ebook. So those of you that have this ebook, you guys can read, guys can just come back and forth to the information whenever you need to, okay? So the first one I'm going to be talking about is potassium. Potassium, as an essential mineral, plays a significant role in the management of high blood pressure. It is involved in various physiological processes that contribute to cardiovascular health. Let's explore the role potassium plays in managing high blood pressure in more detail. The sodium-potassium balance. Sodium, commonly consumed as salt, which is sodium chloride, is a mineral that can contribute to high blood pressure. Excessive sodium intake can lead to fluid retention, increasing blood volume, and elevated blood pressure levels. For individuals with hypertension, reducing sodium is one of the first places they tell you to start with. Now, we're going to talk about the sodium-potassium connection. That way, you can get a better understanding of how this actually works. Because many times when we're dealing with blood pressure issues, we always hear lower your salt intake, reduce your sodium intake, which is a great thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It was just a great thing to do. But it's always important to understand what comes on the back end of it, because just lowering your sodium intake can be very beneficial. But when you lower your sodium intake and increase your potassium intake, this will allow for you to get further along when it comes down to the results of managing your blood pressure. Sodium and potassium works together when it comes down to regulating your blood pressure. They do many different jobs throughout the body, but directly related to blood pressure, they work together. Sodium pulls one way, potassium pulls the other way, but they need to be balanced within the body in order to properly regulate the blood pressure. For many individuals, the sodium levels are high and the potassium levels are low. When the sodium levels are high and the potassium levels are low, this causes an imbalance, and this leads to an elevated blood pressure through many different pathways. And by simply reducing your sodium levels and increasing your potassium levels, you can really swing everything in your favor when it comes down to regulating your blood pressure. Now, it's also important to understand how to do these things properly, because many times we tend to look for, potassium supplements or over-the-counter pills to try to help us with these type of deficiencies. But it's important to understand that the best way to do this is by simply consuming more whole foods. That means eating more foods that are closer to their farm in nature. Fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, all those whole items that has everything that you need, the fiber, the water, the vitamins, the minerals, all the different enzymes, all those things put together, packaged up how it comes. And that's going to help you on your journey to bringing more balance to your blood pressure. Maintaining a balance between sodium and potassium is crucial for optimum cardiovascular health. However, modern diets tend to be high in sodium and low in potassium, creating an imbalance that can contribute to high blood pressure. To effectively manage your blood pressure, it's recommended to increase potassium intake while reducing your sodium